We're here at Sonder on Taungurung land with an artist who's no stranger to Australian dance floors. Hailing from Berlin, he's a DJ known for his mixing ability and out-of-the-box approach to DJing. His style is undefined yet cohesive, which has seen him play at places like Berghain Panorama Bar, Deckmantle Selectors, Dry Molen and Waterworks Festival. A label head who shines a light on the underground, all whilst showcasing his eclectic taste. I'm thrilled to be sitting down on Club Elevate with DJ Spit.
Thank you. Thank you for the roses.
Yeah. Super exciting to have you not only out in Australia, but here at Sonder for the first time. How's it been?
Pretty good, actually. So, personally, for me, it's always a blessing to come back because I don't know if anyone knows a bit of my private life or something, but my fiancée, she's actually from Sydney. So therefore, I can call Australia my second home now, which is kind of a crazy thing to say, because I grew up in a very, very small village, and we had back in the days, we had this one guy who lived in our street, and he went once in the 80s to Australia, and everyone in the village knew about it, you know?
Really?
And now I can come at least once or twice a year, and I feel like every time when I come here, I make more and more friends. So it's amazing. So I feel very, very good. How are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm feeling great. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to be sitting down. I mean, we were talking before the podcast. I first saw you play a pitch. We can't remember the year. It was a few years ago. It's just something that stood out to me and everyone else in the crowd was how eclectic your set was, and even listening to your mixes and the way that you curate your sets. It's so. I don't know how you do it in a way that's still cohesive. You know, you're jumping between genres and BPMs, and I think you take a lot of risks with the way you DJ.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a little bit, but I want to ask you. I want to wind back the clock. I want to know, what's a young DJ Spit? What's he getting into in terms of music? What's your earliest memories of music?
I guess I was always pretty much an outgoing person, you know, so therefore I don't know, I sometimes also find it a bit funny to I don't know, differentiate between me as Paul or DJ Spit, because I don't know, it's the same person. It's just me playing music, you know, under a certain name. So therefore, I don't know, I grew up, as I said, in a small village, and my dad, he was a funny one because he was covered in tattoos, and he raised me with a very big love for music, because he was a big metalhead. He had a big Motorhead skull tattooed here, you know, and he smoked his billies every day before he went to work and shit. He was a funny one, and therefore he introduced me very early to, I would say, tasteful music, you know, even though I was very much into the hard rock metal kind of sphere. But there's good music and there's shitty music, you know. I think we can all agree on that. And but I think you need to also learn what tasteful music is, you know, and it could be anything, but it needs to be tasteful music. So therefore, he introduced me to metal very early on, and then my mom on the other side, she was pretty much an old school raver, or she still goes out quite a bit, you know.
Right.
So therefore, from her, I got a bit more the electronic music side. And when I stopped listening a bit to metal, when I was 13 or something, my mom took me to the first raves, you know, she taught me the first time Paul Kalkbrenner, and when Berlin Calling came out, you know, for me it was the craziest thing ever.
And you got to go when you were 13?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was really early. So then this kind of phase started off me listening to kind of more extreme music, I would say, you know, which was not very listened from all of my friends back at home. And then with 16 I started to work in the nightclub. And
at 16?
Yeah, 16.
How does that work?
I don't know. It works. It was a small town, you know. So it was all right. And and then I started to collect records pretty early on already.
Yeah.
But honestly, just not with the intention at all to ever play in front of people, just for the sake of it, to be honest. And then we started with my best friends. We bought our first Technics. We were playing every week at home, you know. Then I connected with the resident DJs from the shitty club. I was not a shitty club, but I hope no one listens to this. Yes. But then some of the older residents who also only play records taught me to play properly. And then I moved to Berlin with 17, and the rest is more or less history. But even though in Berlin, my intention was not to become a DJ, really not, you know. And I'm probably also going to do something else in, I don't know, 10 years or something, to be honest.
Right,
Like,
okay.
I would say like it's a journey of music, which and I hope I can always work in music in my life. But yeah, right now I make my money mainly with DJ.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always say this.
And you do it so well. And I mean, collecting records from such a young age and being in that environment must be, you're getting exposed to tasteful music so early on. So no wonder you're ahead of the game in your selections and the way that you go about it.
Okay.
Obviously, you're getting into the electronic music world. Can you recall any experiences that really kind of propelled you to want to start pursuing it more seriously?
Since I said, like, I also started to go out quite early on in Berlin, and I don't know, like, started to go to Bergkampf like before my 18th birthday as well, So therefore, like, I had all of like this amazing, like, this DJ culture, especially in Berlin around me, and it was way less pretentious back in the days. So, but then also, like, I felt like the more people I knew, and the more you basically look, like, let's say, behind the curtain, and the more, like, they say, the magic, like, kind of, like, unfortunately goes away. The more I also realized, I don't know, like I wouldn't say I could make it better, but it felt a bit like this, or at least I couldn't like hear the music I had on my own records at home, because at that time, like I was playing a lot like let's say 150 like hard groove stuff, which now popped up 2 years ago, but we're talking now like in 2015, 16, 17,
Yeah.
So and I played a lot of electro, for example, as well. Before,
Yes.
like I don't know, like people like Stingray got back like big again,
Yeah.
So this is like almost like 10 years ago now. So therefore, I felt like I could maybe fill a void, which was not really like, or which was there at that time, in my opinion, at least in Berlin. So therefore, I was playing, as I said, every time with my friends at home, and we like bring our record backs to each other like twice, 3 times a week. And since I worked as a photographer at that time, I worked with like a lot of like artists and DJs and labels, and I did like covers, etc. And therefore, I knew quite a few people in the Berlin scene, and more like 1 or 2 people asked me then, okay, do you maybe want to do a podcast? And then I recorded a few podcasts, and it was very unpretentious and very like raw, I would say.
Yeah.
And at that time, like it was more just like 134 Rothead type of
Nice.
Berlin music,
Yep.
played, which was obviously sick at that time.
Oscar Ton
Well,
sort of realm.
when it was just on its peak, but like I like pushed it a bit more with like electro, played a bit, I don't know, old Robert Armani stuff, like a bit more ghetto house, which was not really played that much at that time in Berlin, at least. And and then I got booked pretty early on a party with Ski Mask actually, and my good friend Victor, who's also like right now like doing very, very great.
Yes.
And then like I played the first in the club, and obviously it was terrifying, but then I realized, okay, cool. If this is the first event I could play, maybe there's something I could do in the future as well. But then it took like a few more years, and then so it was like a gradual like growth, I would say, and it still is.
Cool. I love that experience of, wanting to kind of do something different. Often we look up to people and try and, follow in their footsteps to an extent in terms of the sort of music, either if you're producing or DJing. I know that, we often fall into the traps, but I think you're getting inspiration from people, but you're kind of going your own road, which is still shines through today. I mean, the way that you curate your label and the way that you curate your parties, which we'll get to that in a little bit. But I want to talk about your sound, because how would you describe your sound to someone? Someone's just sat next to you in the train station. They go, hey, what do you do with this?
It's always a bit embarrassing when you sit like in a train next to someone and they ask like, oh, what are you doing for life? I'm a DJ. Like, there's DJs and there's DJs. Like, I don't know, so it's a bit like, oh, I don't know. And then like, what's your name? DJ Split. Like, cool. And you make money with it? Like, yeah. So it's a bit like, I don't know, but like, no, I don't know, man. Like, to be honest, as I said, like it is a constant journey. Like, and I don't want to like throw in like these big words or something, because literally in the end, like I just play music, nothing more, nothing less. I'm not going to change people's lives or something. Some people say this maybe differently, like not about me, but about themselves. I'm not one of these people, but I would say like I play like sick club music, to be honest. And I always want to play. I always want to see, okay, what's happening right now, what makes people move right now, but also what is maybe going to be cool next year or like in 2 years, so because you can always hop on every trend, and it's important to also, because in the end of the day, like you need to make people move, and you can't play music which you think might be cool in 5 years or something. Some people can do this, but that's also not me, because like I'm not like a genius or something. Some people have this crazy forecast, but for me, I just try to play like good club music, nothing more, nothing less.
And I mean, listening to a set of yours if I did it with my eyes shut, you dive through so many different genres, but you know it's a DJ spit set. You know, you take risks with the way that you mix. You go through different BPMs and everything like that. But how does say you're prepping a mix, right, or you're getting tracks together for a set? How do you categorize that in terms of, you know, what makes the cut? Like, because you're diving into so many different genres.
It's a good question. Like, because sometimes I don't know by myself, but like, let me think how I did it like last week, because I recorded like a new mix, the first one after like a few months, you know, and I think it's actually quite, like, it turned out quite good. Like I have a few rules which I always follow. Like, my first rule is I never record a set twice. Like, maybe if let's say if I have technical problems, yes, of course, but like I always want to play and also record sets on podcasts how I feel on that day. And I always have I always freestyle, even like when I do a podcast, a tiny bit, you know. Like, of course I have my plan, but like there's always like a bit of freestyle, which I think in the end makes it a bit more organic, and it makes it a bit more like, I don't know, you can feel it a bit more, because I think you can also hear if something is super planned out, you know, which can be obviously very nice as well, but like it doesn't fit so well to me as a person. Let's say there's like let's say there's a speed garage track, you know, and let's like at a speed garage track, most of the times they're pretty like in the same way build up, you know, like I don't know, you have a first drop, you have a second drop, everyone's going crazy, perfect, you know. But like I always looking for these like little things which don't fit in the track, you know. But there needs to be always something which is a tiny bit obscure and which is not that clean. It needs to be a bit gritty and it needs to be a bit dirty, you know.
Okay.
But this can mean anything. This could be in a house track, this could be even in a fucking ambient track, you know. But it always needs to be a tiny bit odd, a tiny bit gritty, you know, and a tiny bit not off, but a tiny bit like different, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That definitely makes sense. And when you're digging, talk us through your digging process. You know, are you going out and going, okay, I need some drum and bass, and then digging for drum and bass, or how do you go about it?
I dig more for a night or like for a podcast or something. So like I don't like, since I play never like one genre, like I never dig for one genre, but like I would say except of house, because like when I have like a house set coming up, I dig more like in the sphere of house music. But even like for today, for example, I'm thinking, okay, like most of the times, and he's like one of the little secrets. I don't know. I don't think it's a crazy secret, but like, so I'm gonna go in my own library and I look at like 1 or 2 tracks which I think could fit for the night or for the festival, and then therefore like I see, okay, like obviously who's the label, and then like what's the label? I go through the whole catalog of the label if I don't know it yet, and then I go like on Bandcamp and see, okay, who bought these things, you know? What kind of people like could fit the vibe as well, you know? But I'm always going for my own tracks like as a starting point, and then I go from there.
Okay.
On Bandcamp, on SoundCloud, it's obviously you have the feed. It's not rocket science, you know. But like and then luckily also now I'm pretty blessed because I have like a thing which is called Fat Drop.
Yes.
Like it's, you know, like, which is awesome because you get like all this unreleased music sent
the
before.
promos, yeah.
And I'm luckily in some like like, how do you say, like shared folders, you know, like, or like mail, I don't know what the English word is. And so some sick labels actually send me music over this platform, which is also pretty nice. But there's no like certain scheme I follow.
I like that method of looking at who's bought it. That's a really good method.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that if that's okay.
Sorry?
I might take that.
Yeah,
if that's okay.
like please, no, like music is not for sharing.
No,
I hate when people gatekeep music. You know, it doesn't make any sense for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think the best release I always like, not the best release, but like, you know, when you buy like a sick track and like 3 people bought it, and there are 2 of them are your mates, you know, but they all have like other cryptic names. And I was like, I know you know, like, I don't know, like.
That is so good. You're coming out here to Sonder. You're coming to Australia. You haven't played this festival before. You're in a setting. You're in the bush. How are you? I know you said you would pick some tracks that you think would be suitable. Mm-hmm. How are you thinking about it? Like, what tracks are suitable to you, do you think?
I mean, it really depends as well. But like for example, I can tell you like how I did it, for example, today and yesterday when I was like finding tracks for tonight, because like I know my Australian crowd now like a tiny bit, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, and it's also festival, so, and I'm playing the last set of the night, so therefore like it makes sense to have some like highlights, you know, and like I think on the festivals are mostly about highlights, especially when you have like a shorter set. Like, it's like for me, a shorter set's like 2 hours. You know, like if you play like a 4, 5, 6 hours, the Nati Dozzi set at like Deckmantel or something, obviously you play different stuff, or Kia, for example, you know, who will play also like a bit more like different. But like I think like Australians have like a very nice like idea of like good music, but they also like love to party, you know. Like so therefore like it's really like about like to finding both sides of it. Like it's different than when I would play, let's say, I don't know, like at selectors, for example, you know, when it's all about like, you know, you can play also like, as the last said, like very kind of complicated stuff, you know, like but like people still like very into it, and here like people have such a nice taste of music, but also like it needs to pump as well, you know, like so.
Yeah,
therefore,
you
like,
need to have a bit of oomph.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about curating a label. So Rascals Records. How long have you been doing that for?
So it's actually funny because I need to delete it from my.
Really? So you don't run it anymore?
No. So the thing is, like, Rascals was basically when I used to work as a tour manager.
Yep.
The person I was working with offered me to do a sub-label of his label.
Okay.
And to basically publish like younger artists more like in the techno sphere, let's say. And to be honest, we only brought out like 2 records, and it was cool for that time. But now, like, I'm just doing more Explorers, which is more my own platform. Maybe I don't know if you want to talk about it later. But I don't know. It's like, but I didn't feel to continue like the old label that much, because especially also when you do a label alone, it's a lot of work if you want to do it properly as well. And also pressing records is like, I don't know, like
it's hard these days.
It's very hard, you know. Like, and we started when people were still buying records, but nowadays like shit got expensive, you know. Like, and I can understand everyone who like can't afford it anymore as well. I'm still a big advocate, obviously, of pressing music on vinyl, you know, like, but I personally even buy more like records or more albums, you know, on vinyl than like I buy like EPs anymore. Like,
yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. It's that barrier has really hurt labels. I mean, I've just started running a label myself, and we don't. It's really hard to. It's really expensive to press vinyl.
How's it in Australia? Do you have like a good pressing plant here, or?
No, there's one up up the east coast that's in Newcastle, I think, which I think is okay, but it's just really expensive.
Yeah.
So to make it profitable, I mean, you've got to know that record's going to sell well, and particularly starting out a label, that's a risk. You know, that's a risk. I mean, if the music is good enough, it's good enough, right? But a lot of people are doing it offshore. So it's cost of making them here is high, I think, locally. So it's not really the world. I haven't dived into the world too much yet. It's something on my radar, but at the moment it's just about trying to curate some nice music.
But then also people say like it always comes in waves, right? You know, like there's always like a wave of like people buying more records, and then like when they buy less records. So I think hopefully also like in the next couple of years it comes back a tiny bit more. But like but I mean before Corona was this crazy boom, you know, like people bought like a lot of records, but like now it's a bit tricky again. But I think like the records will never die, to be honest. You know? And as I said, like I'm still a big advocate of records. But since I don't play that many records anymore because it doesn't fit too much like the music I play at the moment that much, and a lot of music is also not released on vinyl. Therefore, like I was like, it's a bit of a shame. I miss it. Like, I miss it quite a lot, you know. But I don't know. It's like but it is what it is right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it really changes the way you DJ playing records in comparison. I personally love it. Like it's more, you really feel it a lot more.
Especially also when you play a house set or something, you know, like a house set, like every time, anytime, always on records, like for sure, you know. Like not every time, but like most of the times I would say, you know,
if you can.
But like I don't know, but if you go like if you let's say play like a crazy range of music, you know, say you start on 120 and you go up to 150. That's the first problem which comes with records. Now it's possible to do it, of course, you know. But let's say if you travel to like a foreign country, you don't know the party, you don't know the festival. Obviously, you're less flexible, you know. And
exactly.
Sometimes you can also bomb, you know. Like it's I don't know.
And equipment as well, you know. I think I've heard Marie Montexia speak about it, and Natalie Ogazon speak about the fact that they're vinyl only DJs, but if you don't have strictly vinyl only on your tech rider, then often the sound person will not set them up properly. So if you have both CDJs and turntables, they won't isolate this is just words from their mouth, but they won't isolate the turntables properly, and you have more technical issues. And Natalie says you just need to be vinyl only, and then they'll get it right more.
I mean, you will hope so, because like I play, for example, like in Blitz in Munich, you know, like which I think one of the top clubs in Germany. Like there, I'm easily playing records now because I know it sounds good as well, you know, like it makes sense. But I don't like sometimes when I go somewhere else, you know, I don't know. It's like, sure, do I want to like make it sound good, or do I want to like play records just for the sake of playing records, you know? Like therefore, like it's a bit like, And I like also because I play so much bass music, you know, and so much like I don't like dubstep shit whatsoever. Like it makes sense to like have a pounding as well, you know, like, and a lot of times, like the clubs, like they're not set up to play these tunes on vinyl, you know, but yeah.
Where's your favorite record store in Berlin?
I like Audio In a lot, you know. It's close to, I don't know if anyone ever been to Berlin, but it's like in Friedrichshain, you know, like it's a pretty nice shop.
I haven't been to. I've been to Hardwax. I mean, everyone's been to
Hardwax is like obviously an institution.
Yeah, it is. It's iconic. I had to the line to get in there was massive. I went.
The line?
Before it opened. Yeah, it was like everyone was lining up out the front, and obviously wanting to get the spot to be able to get on a turntable and listen. And I saw it, and then I was like, I'm going to come back tomorrow. And then the next day, I was first in line, and there was, I think, because I was there in the high season, I was there in like mid-July. There was like so many people behind me, just like waiting to get in, and I was just like, ran up there, quickly dug records, and then threw them on there and had a bit of a listen. But yeah, it is an institution. But can you repronounce that record store?
It's called Audio In or Audio In.
Audio In.
Audio In, yeah. It's definitely like a little pearl for sure, and it's also, I think it's existing since quite a long time. Not that many people know about it, but like they have a nice mixture of like UK music, house, like a bit of techno, but like it's they have these records you always want to buy as well, you know. Like it's you never thought about that you wanted to buy it, but like when you see it, like oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
It's like fuck, like I don't have like $100 on me right now, but I should have it on me.
It's the people I speak to who are like proper record heads always say that the quality of a record store is always judged by the bargain bin, and if the bargain bin is really good, then that says a lot about the record store.
But then I think it also changed because back in the days, like I was like digging, like was like I don't know, like there was an institution which was called Record Loft back in the days, like in Berlin, and I really like most of my like let's say electronic, or like not most of it, but like a lot of my electronic music knowledge is based on this record shop because. Back in the days, I was like Hector Oaks was working there, and we used to play like 18, 19 hours music, you know, just like him and me the whole time at home. Like we just played records. We didn't talk for like 3 hours. We just played records and records and records. And he was working at the shop, so therefore like he introduced me as well to like a lot of like let's say 90s labels and stuff, which I didn't know at that time because, as I said before, I came from metal, you know, so I didn't have any like connection towards it. So I need to learn all these things from Discogs and through him and the record shop. And they had all these, like, let's say, 3, 4, 5 EU gems, you know, which were amazing. But I also feel at some stage, you need to get out of this bin. Because, like they are there for a reason as well, you know? Like, they're maybe, like, it's nice to build up a collection, so I can recommend to everyone who wants to start, like, playing and who starts playing. But because you need to build up, like, a collection of, like, I don't know, at least, like, let's say, 50, 100 records to start playing a bit, you know, to also, like, dive into different styles. But, yeah, like... You can still find the gems, but also like I don't have time like every day to spend like 8 hours in a record shop, you know. So also like you need to be like you need to know what you're looking for as well.
Yes,
you know?
that is true because there's so many records. I mean, going into Hardwax, it's almost like overwhelming. You're like, I remember going in there, I was like, and there's all these people running around like getting into spots. And
what's the best record shop in Australia or like Melbourne?
For me personally, it was Natural Selection, which is no longer anymore. But I would say Alley Tunes. It's in Hawthorne. It's really good. It's got a lot of range of music. They have coffee at the front. It's like a cafe kind of set up at the front. And yeah, the people in there, are you familiar with Moopy? Yeah. So he's
cool. He's like an Aussie OG.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he used to work there. He doesn't work there anymore. But the people in there really know their stuff, and it's just I think the thing that I really love about a record store personally is when it's a nice community around there, and people are willing to share music. I think. It's not an uncommon thing, but in Hardwax, for example, because there's so many tourists and people want to go there because it's Hardwax, it wasn't as like warm.
Yeah. No, I was just about to say because it's crazy. Like I don't know, like I would say like me as a German like this, I have a lot of warm friends, in Berlin who are German as well. But like I feel like most of the record shops in Berlin, they always need to have like a very grumpy owner. Like they need to have this, but like I don't know, but they know their shit, and they also know that they know their shit, It's like and you want to sell them records, and like let's say the record is like $30-40 worth, and they're like I give you 5. It's like man, fuck off, man. You don't need to be so German, Like it happens quite often,
there's definitely a few of those in Australia as well. There's a particular one that I was having a bit of an argument with with over email the other day, but I won't go into that now. I won't do it.
Cancelled, after.
Yeah, exactly. I want to talk to you. You mentioned it there earlier about Explorers. Do you want to maybe share what Explorers is as a whole and maybe the vision behind it all?
I mean, so basically the idea started like 3 years ago, because as I said before, also with my mixing, I hope I do my job in a good way, but also it's nothing more, nothing less. As I said before, I hope to build up I hope to build up something where a lot of people can agree on, but a lot of people who are like-minded can agree on. That I want to build a platform where maybe people who are have a certain not knowledge, but a certain way of living, a certain way of thinking about politics, a certain way of treating other people can go together. But it shouldn't be pretentious, It shouldn't be you have to know it's a super elite thing now. If you don't know this person, you're not allowed to go on this party. I don't like this kind of thinking, But it should be also a certain standard, I'm not I don't want to broadcast music which I don't know for this the normal I don't know Tony here and there, It also should be a bit there needs to be a bit of homework done before you go maybe to one of the events, but not much, just a tiny bit, just be a decent person in the end. And Explorers was basically I want to merge it a bit more into a label now. But so far we did this Boiler Room, for example, in Berlin, where we mix German hip hop with for example people like THC, who's a bit more in the say queer house spectrum. We did, for example, I invited German rappers to London. Now we had German MCs in London, which was going super well. I don't know, it was sold out. It was crazy as well. We did a bit more more, let's say, experimental club nights with people like Emma DJ, for example. And it's just I know it's really it should be a platform where also everyone who wants to contribute can contribute. It should be just an open invitation to anyone who wants to contribute music and who also wants to come to our events, etc. So it's really just but it's basically just an extent of DJ Spit to broadcast myself or my ideas of music in a wider range. Yeah.
And do you actually running the parties and organizing parties? How are the stress levels? Do you get stressed?
I hate it. To be honest, I really don't like it. Therefore, we didn't do that many. Maybe we did 15, 16 events or something like this. Maybe let it be 12. I don't know exactly. I don't have the number right now in my head.
That's a fair few.
But it is I don't know. I also obviously have people helping me for sure, But now I reshaped the concept a tiny bit. I don't know if you're familiar with the name Jada. She's a girl from Hamburg. She's very much in the Hamburg Vogue scene, and she's a professional dancer as well. And she plays sick music. And I invited her for our Boiler Room 2 years ago in Berlin. And after the Boiler Room, it hit the first 2 Boiler Rooms hit over 1 million clicks or something, which made me super happy. Because she also has she has a little she's a daughter, and now she can make a living out of it, which is amazing. So special, yeah. And now I invited her very organic as well to help me out of the parties, or no, we're doing it together, not help me out, but we're doing it now together. And because running a party alone is and also playing there, it's just stressful, to be honest, because you always think are there enough people, is everyone having a good time, plus you also think about obviously the music, are the people playing as you had it in your head, and if something doesn't work out, then you're getting stressed out, and I don't like it too much, to be honest. But it's also but if it works out, it's amazing, But if it doesn't work out, and sometimes you feel oh Jesus, what have I done today? And everyone's fine, but you're stressing out by yourself. Everyone had a great time, but it's in your head.
All internal. It's all internal. It is. It's not fun. I've run one party with my label, and
how did it go?
Yeah, good in the end. Yeah. But people just buy tickets so late. It's stressful. I think I was chatting to Esso in the crowd. Shout out, who helped me with some graphics. Actually, he's done all the graphics for Sonder, which are epic, by the way.
Sick one.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just the nature. I'm not sure what it's like in Berlin or surrounds, but people just buy tickets to things so late, and it's just it could be a cost of living thing. It could be like an access thing because there's often the ticket resale sites that are people can pick up tickets a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's resulting in events and smaller festivals having to cancel because of the risk that comes in going ahead with the party. It's just an interesting space. Have you found that with running your parties?
I mean, I would say the infrastructures. I would guess it's a bit different in Berlin than it is here, because
definitely.
I think you have to invest a lot. I'd say especially in Australia, if you want to run a party, because I came across a lot of strong collectives here, in Australia, and a lot of people who work as a collective very strongly, which I think is not necessary, but it's a good thing to have if you want to run in an event, because you have already let's say your friend, who's doing graphics, and you have already 5-6 people around you, plus friends, etc., who can create something with you. But then you also maybe don't have the clubs, then maybe you have to run rent a sound system, you need a sound technician, you also want to make it properly, I don't know, you don't want to. You want to also give something back, to the audience. And in Berlin, it's a bit the other way around, because we have so many parties. So how do you get people to come to your party, So you need to obviously invest a lot in promo, but it's all there already. So the risk is a bit less, but the risk is there that you just do a party and no one cares about it, as well. That's because people forget about it quite quickly, So that's or can forget about it quickly. So it is always tricky, but I think having a strong community and a strong collective around you is always I think the main key.
What's your favorite club to throw a party in Berlin?
I mean, in Berlin, I only did as I said, the Ballroom, and I did parties at Säule in Berghain.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite club, Trauma Bar, is closed now, apparently, unfortunately. But this was one of my favorite clubs, and I would have loved to do something there. But I would say, to be honest, Ohm. I don't know. Have you been to Ohm?
No.
It's it's basically when you have Tresor on the left-hand side and Hardwick's in the middle.
That's the
it's a small venue.
The smaller one.
Small venue. It's beautiful. It's maybe 250 people max capacity. They also have a ticket price threshold of 15 euros. So it's no party can ask for more money than 15 euros.
Okay.
And it is very I listen to the most amazing sets. I listen to Moody Man. They're I don't know, in 2018 or something.
Wow.
And it's super direct. It's one of the most direct clubs. And it's it's just a very nice vibe. And I don't like these big things too much. It's.
I had a friend that went to it. I think it was their anniversary not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago, and he actually bought a shirt. They were selling merch there,
Okay.
and he said it was incredible. I can't remember who he saw, but definitely one to check out. So I want to talk to you a little bit about traveling and touring. Obviously, you played a lot of places all over the world. How do you find balancing performing, traveling? You spoke earlier, you're going to Byron tomorrow, then you're going somewhere else, but then that happens all the time with you guys, touring DJs. It's hard work. How do you manage it all?
I mean, to be honest, I played last year something I think maybe something between 80 and 90 gigs. It sounds a lot, and I'm very happy for this. But it's not that I'm playing 3 times every weekend. And I have friends of mine who playing literally 3-4 times every week. So they're on a different level. Also mentally in terms of, because they're just going in and out. This doesn't work for me, and also I'm also not getting booked that much. But I think I heard this question a lot of times, but to be honest, I don't know. It's the party days for me are over. First of all, so therefore I play. Let's say if I play 2 times on a weekend, I arrive in the afternoon on Friday, I have a nice dinner, I go to bed, I play, I go to bed again. Then I travel on Saturday, same again, and then Sunday I'm back at noon. I personally don't think it's that hard, to be honest. And you go to a beautiful place, and then on Monday morning I wake up early, go to sports, walk my dog, and I go to the studio. So it is I don't know. Sometimes I feel people making a bigger thing out of it. Obviously everyone is different, everyone is individual, and some people they obviously have maybe different needs and different wants for sure. For me personally, it's easy. It's a blessing. I don't know. It's not that I'm occupied with playing every weekend 4 times, but for example this weekend when I play 4 times. I'd say everything over 3 times a weekend can be a bit tricky, to be honest. And especially also depends how you travel, especially at the beginning when when the pickups are not perfectly and stuff, and when the holds are not perfect. it doesn't need to be perfect, but if it's not like perfectly planned, then it can get a bit tricky. But yeah.
Well answered.
Yeah.
Walking your dog, and you play sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you play?
This is football. It's like occasionally football, and I go like to the gym a tiny bit. But like,
Yeah. That's great. What position would you play if you're playing football, like professionally? Do you think?
Right back.
Right back.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
shouting a lot, you know, like it's like pushing and shouting, and like I can just run and tackle. That's it, you know, like.
That is so good. Obviously, being an artist in the current environment, you know, there's the whole social media thing and having to promote and put yourself out there on social media. How do you find doing that? Do you find that a chore, or are you okay with doing it all?
I think it's part of the job now, like, but
Yeah.
like it is really like. I think people have a good sense of feeling if someone does it authentic or not, you know, and this can mean anything. I think this can really mean anything, because like, but I don't like when I see people online who are not authentic, because I don't know, like honestly, I don't give a shit about like followers and stuff, you know, because I have like a graduation, like slow growth, you know, and I like slow growth in life in general, because like as long as you're growing, I think everything is fine, you know, but like sometimes people like they push it a bit too hard, you know, but like, and I find it a bit ridiculous, to be honest, you know, because like you have 1 or 2 like good years, but what happens afterwards? And I prefer to also build up my social media. That like if you meet me in real life, hopefully like now, that I'm exactly how you will imagine me on social media as well. You know, like I want to be really like this. You know, it's just a tool for me, nothing more, nothing less. Like,
I like that. It's
yeah.
a slow, steady growth.
Yeah.
It means you can keep up with it as well.
Yeah, it's like, but obviously also you need to check what other. Like, it's also good to like stay in contact with people to see what other people are doing for sure. You know, like, it's like I don't think it's like. Some people they say it's the worst thing ever, you know, like, and they spend too much time also hating about social media. I'm like, I don't know, it's like you don't have to do it, you know, like it's like there's also like people like Pakita Gordon, for example, who doesn't use social media whatsoever.
Helena Hoff.
Yeah, for example, you know, like it's they also have great. It's also a bit of different, let's say, generation of DJs for sure, you know. But I don't know, it's like people like think too much about it, you know, like if they should do it, if they're not sure how they should do it, like I don't know, just be authentic, like put a bit of effort into it because it's also your job, of course, but like I don't know, just like be authentic. Yeah.
I think that. It's interesting because on the one hand, there's the way to, you know, when it's not authentic and, you know, there's the classic shaky camera sort of setup.
Yeah.
But I think there's power in an artist being able to connect with the people that enjoy their music. And through social media is a really good way to do that.
It's great, actually. You
Yeah,
know,
and I think that I really love when artists are able to show their true personality through social media, which isn't always easy as well. And I think, you know, as a fan and you know, loving electronic music, I always follow the people that I admire, and that's my way of connecting with them.
No, because like for some I had this moment, for some then like praise God Instagram, to be honest. Like I had this moment like last October in New York, and like I was just walking at like I don't know, a bit later at the night time, you know, like through the streets like in Brooklyn with my partner and like some friends. And then I just met this guy, like, like a random guy who saw me playing like 4 years ago or something, and he saw on Instagram as well that I was like in town, and then he was just, like literally like he saw the post like an hour ago, and then he was like, and then I met him on the streets and he was like, hey, yeah, like wait, I just saw that you're here. Like I was like, yeah, what's up? And he invited me and my 4 friends, like and my partner, to his place until like I don't know 6 a.m. or something, you know. I said, man, that's great, you know, because he also like he was not afraid of me, even though we don't know each other, but he heard me playing, and he also said the same thing. He said like, yeah, you're exactly on social media, or you also play the same way like you are as a person. Like, okay, then I'm making maybe something right. I don't have like 500K or something like next year. I'm also pushing for this, but like if I have these moments, then I'm on a good path, I hope, you know, which is nice. Like.
In 2025, what makes a DJ really stand out for you personally?
It's a tricky question because the people who stand out for me, they're obviously doing it since a long time. You know, so it's not that.
It's a tough one.
Like, to be honest, because like my perception on DJing is always changing as well, you know, and I always mention the same names. I always say people like Ben Ufo, I always say people like Batu, I always say people like DJ Marcel, Tiki Latex, these kind of people who are doing it for so long and who still like changing their craft like constantly. But you can hear how they're still changing it, but you can also hear that they're doing it for so long. You know, so that for me, standout DJ is someone who's still like pushing it forward, and also like, and who doesn't stick to their own sound, like, because maybe there's a certain sound which made them big or like successful, but they're still pushing it, but they also have their own sound, whatever this could be. But like, so it's, I think what stands out for me is someone like who, can bring his own sound in the present, and it still make it sound futuristic, because electronic music should be always futuristic.
That's a great answer.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. That's well played. So, yeah, I remember seeing Batu at Miscellanea, and I was after the sampler.naarm festival, and it was the after party. It was an Animalia party run by Kia, and Batu closed. Oh.
And you know what he has? Patience.
Yeah.
That's
patient
the thing,
mixing, patient mixing as well.
That's one of the crazy things. Like, I would not even put myself at all like on this level, not at all. But like someone like him, for example, he's a big inspiration in terms of like how he plays, because like it is really just like I know sometimes it's not at all like average music, but it's still like very, very high quality club music, and like having the patience, or like Benno Forth, it's the patience, because like you can bang out the tracks like like easy, and then like you have to crowd after 5 minutes. But what if you have to crowd after 2 hours, but like no one left the dance floor, and that's I think that the really craft, like of DJing, and it's like, and patience is really, really the key, I think, a lot of times. Like,
yeah, I think that's someone that really Ben UFO's incredible. For me, personally, someone that I really admire in the way that they've always stuck to their roots, but also mix super patiently, is Chaos in the CBD.
Yeah,
I love the way that they mix, and they played at Pitch last year, and it was really interesting because it was, I think, BPMs are slowly starting to slow down to an extent. I think during COVID and everything, everyone knows that everyone was playing, a lot of hard, fast stuff. At main stage at Pitch, they got on there and they just did their thing. And you could tell, like, a few of the younger generations were kind of looking around and going, what is this? And then they just would build and build and build, and then play some. All of their stuff is like early 2000s stuff. Like a lot of it, I'm pretty sure I've heard Beans say that they don't play anything after 2004. But I don't know how true that is to an extent. But the way that they actually mix is just super patient. They don't rush anything, and I love that. When you're actually I feel that helps you lock in as a punter.
Like honestly, I do have to say, because like as I said at the beginning of our conversation, to find a sweet spot where you can invite a lot of people. And I do have to say, it's obviously not about the BPM, because I love to play on 100 BPM. I love also to play like jungle, whatever. But I have to say, the sweet spot of 134 until 138. Well, for example, like Benno 4 operates most of the times at, makes a lot of sense, because it can go in so many different directions. Plus, it can be hard, it can be soft, but it still gives most of the times, I think in this range, a lot of space also for elements, if they come in, because if you play at the club I spoke about before, let's say on 132, it's more housey, classical house set, 132 is actually quick for house or fast for house, and this one snare comes in, it's hard, man. It's very hard, and I used to play also way, very faster than I do now, but it is trying to find maybe the same energy of 150 BPM set in 135, and then someone is good.
Exactly. Someone who's able to play at slow BPMs, but it's still tough.
Yeah. That's 120. 120 can be nasty.
Batu is a perfect example.
Nasty,
perfect example of that.
Do you know Bruce by any chance?
Bruce
from Bristol. And honestly, big recommendation. Check out his boiler room set from what is 2021 or something.
Yeah, I'm
it
not
plays
familiar.
116, 18, 120, a lot of lurker stuff. It's on point, man.
Sick.
Shout out Bruce.
Shout out Bruce, if you're watching. One question I want to ask you is, what do you like to do outside of music? You spoke about walking the dog and playing football. What else do you like to do?
I mean, to be honest, right now, I think I'm a bit there's a few changes in my life happening right now. I'm not gonna say it on camera now, but there's a few things coming. But right now, I'm very, very, very much involved in just making music for the first time as well. It's 2 years now, but I've been just now with Babo, who's one of my favorite UK rappers in the studio. I did now a Guam release, or I'm doing a Guam release of DJ Leg, which is also completely different than the stuff I did before. So I'm very focused on making music. But besides this, to be honest, like, I actually would like to work a bit more in the social field again, because like,
Okay.
I feel like playing and like traveling the world is nice, and I can connect with so many people, but I also feel like there's a bit more outside like the electronic music bubble, let's say. And I mean, I'm not that old, but I also feel like right now, like, I love music, and as I said, I always want to like work in music, but I also feel like I played so many nice events already, and it still gives me the same feelings like I had, like it gave me always. But I also I definitely want to combine maybe music more with like social aspects. I want to like also give a bit more things back. I want to give things a bit more back like to communities as well. But I also like, I don't want to sit here now and say I'm going to change the world. So like I need to see in which direction I'm personally going to go. But,
Okay.
But yeah.
I like that. I hear you're a Schalke football fan. Is that right? Yeah.
Where do you know this? Like, that's crazy. From Jordi.
I would no. I just heard it from a few people actually.
Yeah. Okay. That's
So,
crazy.
Is it true that you pray to Kevin Kuriani at night before you go to bed?
Kevin Gunn is crazy. That's crazy. Nah, like unfortunately not, no. But like, I don't know if you want to talk about this, because then we can fill up like another like 3 hours. So we want to like, now, but like also as like someone who like moved to Berlin, over 10 years ago now. I have a big love for Hertha as well. Because otherwise, if my boys would see this, they're gonna be angry with me. But like, I mean, like Kevin Kurani is like Schalke OG. Like,
Yeah,
sure, like,
an OG.
Yeah.
I want to know. So, you obviously know Gorlitzer Park,
Yeah.
right? Are you familiar with the Frisbee Jesus? You know the guy that are you familiar with the guy that throws the frisbee? You
Yeah,
know,
like the guys, but who's Frisbee Jesus?
yeah, that's him. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Nah.
You don't know who I'm talking about?
Frisbee Jesus?
Yeah, they call him Frisbee Jesus. I've watched him so many times in Gorlitzer
Really?
Park. Yeah, he's there all the time.
Man, for me, it's crazy to chill at Görlitzer Park. That's a crazy thing for me.
What, to go and chill and go to the
I mean,
park?
like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know,
pretty
like,
hectic.
like normally you Görlitzer Park, you just walk through it quite quickly, and
walk,
then you go out of there.
walks
Then
through
you're out
it
of
like
there,
this. No, it's pretty hectic. But no, he's in the middle of Gorlitzer Park and he throws the frisbee and he's so good at it. Like he does all these tricks.
Was it these
and-
ones as
yeah,
well?
he
Like,
does
yeah,
all these
yeah.
ones, and you can just go and throw it with him, and he'll just throw it.
Like
with
I
you.
feel like Frisbee Jesus he needs his own jingle or something.
Yeah.
Frisbee Jesus, like really crazy. Like,
Yeah, that's good. So we've come to the last segment of the chat. It's called Ricky's Quickies. So it's just quick fire questions, and I don't want you to think too much about them, and
Okay.
just answer with your heart.
and then getting cancelled like straight away afterwards.
What's your favorite non-music hobby?
Sports,
Sports. Preferred BPM?
140.
140.
Yeah.
Favorite club set that you've ever played?
Garage Nord 3 years ago in Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
What do you think the fastest BPM you've ever played in like a public setting is?
174.
Was that jungle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fast jungle.
Dream festival that you haven't played at?
Coachella.
Dream city to take explorers to?
Japan.
Japan?
I know it's not a city like Tokyo.
Tokyo. What's your go-to comfort food?
My wife's pasta.
Nice.
Yeah.
What sort of pasta?
Actually, that's crazy ragu.
Ragu?
Like, crazy ragu. Like, it's
Oh,
so good.
shout,
Like, it's so
shout
good.
out. You can only play one genre forever. What is it?
House.
House. What's your biggest fear?
To be unthankful.
Unthankful.
Yeah.
Nice. If you were not in music, what would you be doing?
Probably working as a photographer.
If you were to describe yourself as a fruit, what would you be?
A lychee.
Why?
I don't know, like, I think everyone likes lychees, no? Like, I don't know. And a bit exotic, I don't know. They're fine. Like, not too much, not too less, they're right. You know? Like, a bit sour, a bit sweet, I like them.
Would you rather wear a clown wig or clown shoes every day?
Clown wig for sure. Okay.
At your last ever gig, what are you closed with?
Nina and Westbam. Fuck, what is it called again? Man, this is stupid because I'm a DJ, I should know this. Like, Nina and Westbam, look it up, they only have one track together.
Oh, that is so good. Paul, aka DJ Spit, thank you for sitting down here at Sonder. We're very excited for your set tonight, and good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.